Welcome back to another Wednesday on the Pagan Perspective. I'm your Wednesday host, Yeka, and this week we are doing a choose your own adventure. And this is something that normally it's the subs who do, and they get to choose from any of the topics that the regular hosts have done, but this time we're kind of flipping that and saying, let's choose as the regular hosts a topic from the past year that the subs have done that we'd like to cover. So I was just looking through, and wow, we've done a lot of topics, first off, but taking a look at what they were. And I actually came across one from around this time last year that we did that was what lets you know you have chosen the right path. And I wanted to do this one because I think that it's important to think about what is your purpose with a practice or a path. What are you trying to achieve? And that's going to be different for every person. I can look at it within myself and take some time with myself and say, well, what is it that I really want from life? What is it I want from my practice? What is it that I want from my paganism? What is that about? And doing some real self-reflection on that, and then just noticing how my practice influences and affects my life. So personally, for me, being a pagan is about being as connected with the rest of nature as I can, as joyful and as present in the very, very little time that I get to be me. Because I think that I'm a little piece of the earth that gets to walk around and experience itself, a little piece of the universe that gets to experience itself for a time, and then I'm gone. And how can that be meaningful for me? How can I make it feel great to be me? And how can I do that in a way that, well, I do it in a way that is honoring the rest of nature around me and um, practicing. I use ritual as a tool to help me do that. So if I want to think about periodically, is my practice helping me to fulfill that? I need to do a little bit of occasional check-ins and just pause every now and then, go, what's it feel like right now? How have I been experiencing life? And is my practice feeding into that in a way that I would like it to, or a way that isn't? And that's going to change over time. It's not always going to be the same. I'm not always going to want to feel the same way, or the same actions are not always going to make me feel the same way. So I got to continuously check in with that. So how do I know that the path is right for me, or how does somebody else know? It is that checking in. And I don't think that I don't think that practices, that there's a universal practice, personally. I think that every person is going to have something that's different, and I think that at different time periods in our life it's going to be different. And so it's helpful to hear from other people what they do as inspiration, as insights into ourselves, but I don't think that you can really know that just because it works for me, it's going to work for you, or vice versa, or anything like that. And what works for me right now is very different in a lot of ways than what worked for me 10 years ago, and 10 years before that, and 10 years into the future. Undoubtedly, there's things that are going to be common, but a lot of it's going to be different. And so I think that the key here, I guess the whole key of this, is to really try and be present with oneself, and on a normal basis, but also set some time aside for it too. Set some time aside to really do some reflection and be present with yourself with that. So that was my take for Choose Your Own Adventure, and we've got some more interesting stuff coming up. So I really look forward to going into the autumn for those of us in the northern hemisphere, in the spring for those of you in the south, in these coming months. So take care, everyone. And if there's anything that you'd like to add to this week, let us know in the comments below.